Hi there and welcome to another episode of Andy Robinson RC, and cheers and thanks for checking out the channel today. Now we've got something a bit special today on this episode. We have got a 1985 Mugen Bulldog AWDS from Japan. So I'm going to move the box and you can see the car itself. Look at that. How cool is this? So this is a 1985 Mugen Bulldog AWDS. Now Mugen started back in 1982 and this was one of their four-wheel drive buggies. Now Mugen are the same company as Mugen Seiki, and they also do parts for RC cars. They do a lot of sort of engines, petrol engines, nitro engines, and I think they actually make their own Mugen competition cars as well. They also make touring cars. So they are still going as a company. At first I wasn't sure if it was the same company, but it is. So I said this one is from 1985, and it actually competed, not this buggy itself, but the buggy or some of these competed in the 1985 IFMAR World Championships at the Ranch Pit Stop, I think it was Del Mar racetrack in California. So these were used at the IFMAR World Championships, which is pretty cool. So bit of an odd looking one, this. And what can I tell you about it? Well, if you've never seen one of these before, the main bulk of the buggy is this. If you look at it head on there, what I will do is I'll bring the camera over later. You've got this central block running down the centre of the car. And inside of that is there's three ball differentials. You've got one at the front, or one at the rear, and you can have one in the centre, which you can use to lock and unlock the drivetrain. So that is pretty cool. It came with front and rear anti-roll bars as well, and it's got this like space frame roll cage as well, and also at the bottom there, it's the skid pan. It doesn't do anything structurally. It just bolts the roll cage on and protects, a bit like an under tray really, protects the centre of the actual main gearboxes on the car. So everything really hangs off this main chassis. You've got all the wishbones on here, which, if I'm not, yes, they are the same front and rear wishbones. Also, which I think is probably, I might be wrong, probably unique to this buggy, is it's got air dampers, air shocks on, I should say. And there is a little screw somewhere. I haven't found it yet because I've not been looking. And you can adjust how much air is let in and let out, so you can alter the tension. But yeah, air shocks. So I think that must have been quite a unique feature to these buggies. Now, this isn't the only buggy from the 80s to have four-wheel steering. And now I'm going to forget one of them now, but one was the Nishimo, I think a Vantage. And there might be another one, but that had four-wheel steering to it as well. I think the Marui Samurai, I think as well, that also had four-wheel steering. So there are a few out there. And I think this was obviously being trialled and experimented with by some manufacturers in the 80s. Now, I think overall it was considered not to be an advantage in the end, because nearly all four-wheel drives later on didn't have the four-wheel steering. But it was obviously something that was tried. Now, I don't know if any other buggies had air shocks, so if you know of any other buggies that had this type of suspension or shock, please let me know in the comments. Also, if I'm wrong on any of my information, again, please let me know. It would be cool, but it's such a cool thing. Now, I picked this up off eBay. Now, I picked it up from a seller that I've bought from before, and we came to an arrangement on a deal for this, and I'm very happy with it. It's just ace. There's nothing really. I'll say there's nothing to look like. That's a bit of a lie. Because I think as well the Marui Galaxies, they had, although they were two-wheel drive, they had a similar cage style. And did one of the Hirobos as well. That also, I think one of them might have had a similar cage style to it. So there were a few, but not loads compared to all the other buggies. So this one has come to me. This has not been used. This has just been built. So for it to be, I mean, it's immaculate underneath. To survive this long, I think it's pretty amazing, and it not being used. Now, I say it's not been used. It's been built. Now, if it has been used, it's minimal, absolute minimal. All the tread is on the tyres, which is great. It's all super clean. Bit of grubbiness from probably sitting on the shelf or being stored, but generally, it doesn't even look like it's been used, really. The manual mechanical speed control is totally clean and spotless. Now I am going to get this running so you can see it running, but I'm going to be careful with it because I did notice when I was putting the wheels on it, there are some sort of, I'm not sure if they're necessarily cracks, but they could turn into cracks quite easily, I reckon. They look more like stress lines on some of the wheels. So I don't want to be going and you know, damaging this, because there's a good chance I won't be able to replace the wheels on it. But we will get it going, and I will show you some footage of it driving about and that four-wheel steering in action. As you can see, I will bring the camera over. You can see there's a big link connecting the steering and to the rear steer as well. So that'll be cool. I can't wait to see this running. Now, in the box, sadly, I didn't get the instructions for it, but it did come with, well, it's come with all its original period radio gear. So down here, I have the Futaba Ritmax Attack Sport 2-channel radio, which is cool. Now that wasn't working when it came, but I just cleaned up some of the terminals inside the battery tray, and it now works, which is cool. Now, also, there's two stuck together, but we've got the driver figure. Now this sits, we get it in there. Now, this will sit in here. It needs cutting out and whatnot, but basically the driver figure sits in there. So at some point I'll try and get that painted up. And I've got two of them, which is cool. And also, besides the box itself, it came with the instruction manual for the handset. So nice to have. It'd been cool to get the manual for this, but after doing a bit of research, I don't think there was much to the manual. It was like a 10-page booklet, so with sort of like pidgin English in it. So yeah, it'd be nice to have. Not the end of the world. I forgot what I was going to say then. So yeah, it's a damn cool thing, and I love anything like this. I mean, I'd love to get anything like some of the Ninchinos or the Maruis, but some of them are so expensive. It's going to be you know, and obviously not as easy to track down. So it's going to be difficult. But I do like looking at these old vintage cars. They are fantastic. There's nothing out there that looks like these things. And again, you know, back sort of through the 80s and some of the early 90s, you know, you looked at all the different manufacturers and all the cars pretty much looked different. There were so many different buggies and cars, and they all had, you know, different features, a lot of them, and they're all sort of unique as well. That's broadly speaking. But yeah, it is damn cool. Now, actually, I've just remembered what I was going to say. Now, I didn't think this was imported into the UK, but it was by Irvine Engines Limited. So you could get it in the UK. Now, whether many of these actually made it over to the UK, I don't know. But, as I said, you could get it. Now, I read that in an article someone had posted online from one of the car mags. I don't even know which car mag it was now. It might have been Model RC cars or Radio Race Car. But, yeah, you could get it. So I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah, the next thing is we're going to get this running. Now, I did notice on here, on the mechanical speed control, the battery plug is the wrong one. It's the female plug and not the male plug. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to start chopping away at this because it's just too good. So what I'm going to do is, for the sake of being able to run it, I'm going to just get one of my Hobby Wing quick run 1060 ESCs. I'm going to temporarily wire it up so it'll run off that. Because also what that'll allow is, it means if the mechanical speedo gets jammed and then it runs off on its own, I don't want it to smash up against anything. So I think in terms of keeping it in one piece as well, we'll put just a 1060 in it, and we'll be able to run it for you. Just bags of room. I can probably mount it down here. Make sure it's out of the way of the rear steer bar, but mount it there. Battery goes through the middle, and it's going to attach via some cable ties. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring that camera over for you, and you can have a bit of a closer look at this. Okay. There we go. Nice close up. That is just totally wicked. I really can't wait to get this going. So hopefully we'll get it ready to go fairly soon. I'm saying I have got some other things that are other videos released maybe before this. We'll see anyway, but it won't be too long before this is going. But yeah, I mean, it's just ace. I'll show you the, well, you can probably see it, but you can see the steering linkage bar to the front and to the rear there. Now, if you can see behind the number plate there, and there's an NGK sticker, that is where you alter the centre ball diff. I'll give you a top shot there. You can see there the layout of it there. You've got the air shock at the front, and then going back you've got the servos and mechanical speedo all the way back down to where the motor sits, the resistor, the rear air shock, and that's also the rear anti-roll bar as well. But yeah, it really is a nice thing. I'm so excited that I've got it, and I can show you guys and girls on the channel. Right, okay, so we're going to leave it there for this one. Next time you see this, it should be running. Right, okay, so it's just like to say thank you very much for checking this video out. Much appreciated, as always. And if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to the channel. That'd be much appreciated. Hitting the like and notification bell. Also, come check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well, under Andy Robinson RC. Okay, we'll see you soon. Take care. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.